She, a whisper, a shadow, a name etched into the very fabric of struggle and triumph. Her name was Elora. From the tender age of 5, Elora knew the bitter taste of abandonment. Her mother, a fleeting memory of soft hands and a lullaby, vanished into the unforgiving night, leaving Elora in the care of a grandmother whose love was as thin as the gruel they often shared. The old woman's eyes held a perpetual sorrow, mirroring the silent, gnawing fear in Elora's own heart. Every sunset brought with it a fresh wave of dread. Would she wake up to another empty bed? Another echoing silence? This wasn't just a fear of being alone. It was a fear of ceasing to exist, of being erased from the world as if she had never been. One frigid winter morning, the silence was different. It was heavy, final. Her grandmother, too, had slipped away, leaving Elora utterly, completely alone. 10 years old, a wisp of a girl in a world that seemed determined to swallow her whole. The orphanage, with its sterile walls and indifferent faces, became her new prison. She learned to hide her emotions, to become invisible, lest any flicker of vulnerability invite cruelty. But beneath the stoic facade, a fire smoldered, a fierce, untamed longing for something more. Years blurred into a monochrome existence. School was a chore, the lessons a distant hum against the constant thrum of survival. Yet, there was one place where the world brightened, where the colors returned, the local library. Within its hallowed walls, Elora discovered portals to other lives, other possibilities. She devoured books, each word a lifeline, a promise that there was more to existence than her own bleak reality. She became obsessed with tales of resilience, of characters who, against all odds, carved their own destiny. One afternoon, a tattered biography of a renowned astrophysicist fell into her hands. The woman in the book, a pioneer in a male-dominated field, had faced her own share of ridicule and rejection. But she had persisted. She had looked to the stars, not as distant, uncaring observers, but as a roadmap to understanding. A spark ignited within Elora, a revelation so profound it shook her to her very core. The universe. It was vast, mysterious, and offered an escape from the suffocating confines of her past. She would study the stars. She would uncover their secrets. The path was fraught with impossible obstacles. No money, no connections, just an unyielding dream. She worked odd jobs, scrubbing floors, serving tables, her hands raw, her body aching, but her mind fixed on the celestial. She studied late into the night, by the dim glow of a single bulb, poring over complex equations and theories, the hunger for knowledge a constant, insatiable companion. The whispers of doubt, the echoes of her childhood trauma, tried to drag her back into the abyss. "You're not good enough," they hissed. "You're destined for nothing." But each whisper was met with a defiant silence, a renewed resolve. She applied to universities, a long shot, a gamble against a stacked deck. Rejection letters piled up, each one a fresh sting. But one, just one, was different. A small, almost insignificant paragraph at the bottom, offering a conditional scholarship based on a rigorous entrance exam. This was it. Her chance. The night before the exam, a paralyzing fear gripped her. What if she failed? What if all her efforts, all her sacrifices, amounted to nothing? She stared at the ceiling, the ghosts of her past swirling around her, threatening to engulf her. And then, a memory surfaced. Her grandmother, in one of her rare moments of tenderness, had pointed to a faint star in the night sky. "That one, Elora," she'd whispered, "is always there, even when you can't see it. Just like hope." The exam room was a blur of frantic energy, but Elora was calm. She saw the equations not as daunting challenges, but as elegant puzzles waiting to be solved. She wrote, her pen gliding across the paper with a precision born of countless hours of solitary study, her mind a fortress against all distractions. Weeks later, the letter arrived. It was thin, unassuming, but in her trembling hands, it felt like a cosmic artifact. She tore it open, her heart pounding a frantic rhythm against her ribs. And there it was. Not a rejection, not a conditional offer, but an unequivocal acceptance. Full scholarship. The years that followed were a testament to her unwavering spirit. She excelled in her studies, her intellect shining like a supernova. She joined research teams, her contributions earning her respect and admiration. The girl who had once feared invisibility now stood tall, her presence undeniable. The climax arrived in a hushed auditorium, filled with the brightest minds in astrophysics. Elora, now Dr. Elora Vance, stood before them, a revolutionary theory about dark matter poised on her lips. Her voice, once a hesitant whisper, now resonated with authority and conviction. As she presented her groundbreaking findings, a hush fell over the room. She concluded her presentation not with a flourish, but with a simple, profound truth. The universe, in its infinite complexity, holds answers to questions we haven't even learned to ask yet. We just need to keep looking. A thunderous applause erupted, a recognition not just of her scientific brilliance, but of the extraordinary journey that had brought her to this moment. The shy, abandoned child, the lonely teenager, the struggling student, all of them had led to this. And in that moment of triumph, as the accolades rained down, Elora looked up, not at the adoring crowd, but at the imagined vastness of the cosmos, a silent tribute to the stars that had guided her through the darkest nights. She had not only survived, she had soared. She had faced the abyss and emerged, not unscathed, but undeniably, brilliantly victorious.